Hi, how are you?
Hey, how's it going, man?
Yeah, finally worked it out. I'm not a very technical person.
You jumped in unexpected. I didn't even know you'd connected. He ambushed us, man.
You didn't see that coming.
Hey,
Didn't see that coming.
No.
Hi.
No, we haven't got radar.
That's it, man. Yeah. So we can pretty much start the interview whenever you like. We were just having a chat, and all the bit that came before will get chopped out.
I've got mum's dinner to serve up.
Okay.
About 2 minutes, okay? I'll go and serve up mum's dinner. I'll be right.
Yeah, cool. Yeah. So, mate, you've been a bad boy.
I have.
I love your smart meter videos, by the way, man. Like they're, it's a bit of an eye opener, really, isn't it?
Yeah. I think they're not expecting what I've done. Yeah. I think I'm gonna really give them a shake up with this.
Do you have do you have any electricity in your house now, or what?
Oh yeah. I've always maintained the electricity without a meter. We took off the smart meter about 2 weeks ago.
Direct hookup.
Yeah, we just
bypassed it.
Bypassed the whole meter. Direct the electricity. Thank you very much.
I guess they'll just have to bill you on estimates or something from now on.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's only for a period of 2 weeks, but I've got good news. I've installed analog meter today, totalizing counter.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Cool.
So I will upload the video soon. Yeah.
Oh wow. So these guys played ball with you in the end or something?
No, I purchased it myself.
You
got it installed myself. So it belongs to me.
It's a total selfie.
And we're actually looking for people to come down with us to Powercore at 11 a.m. On Monday morning.
Oh, okay.
The media, and
yep.
We're shooting down to Ballarat Road Powercore office, and I'll be handing back the smart meter, saying I'm doing this purely for the health and welfare of my daughter, because the spikes I was getting off it were off the scale.
Oh man,
so it's just like a text message four times a day. The spikes I was getting was every 10 seconds, and
I know. I saw the video and it was all pretty well explained, fuck.
Yeah.
And you're just like, that's outrageous, like the people that this is being forced on us, and they've made laws. So, I'm surprised you haven't had stormtroopers on your door with a meter man, we're going to put it back and, rah-de-rah. It's happened in the States, like I've seen people basically, saying you're not installing it in the first place. People trying to prevent them getting installed, and they just get the cops and stand aside, man. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
You're going to have it whether you like it or not.
It's a major flaw in Australia, because basically I haven't had a phone call or letter. It hasn't been operating for 2 weeks. They're trying to say, this is going to make it easier for us to monitor problems and all this sort of thing. It's all a sham.
Well, we've all got smart meters, and we've had blackouts in the past, recent history, man. And we fucking
especially around the Northcote area.
Especially in the Northcote area. We were hit worst, and we were out of power for I can't remember how many hours. It was almost 12 hours or something.
Oh yeah, that's ridiculous, Diana. Yes.
Well, it was, and so that we'll definitely be mentioning that. But the other thing was that takes me to the whole thing about what you were charged with for running that DUI checkpoint, as it's more nicely called in America. What do they call it here? Fucking
RB2 boss.
Right. Breatho stop, just stop in for a cuddly breatho. But, the thing is though, that, what did they charge you with? Reckless driving.
Endangering life of a police officer.
For not pulling over.
Yeah, that's probably why they couldn't articulate the charge on the night.
Yeah, that's right. I went nowhere near any police officers.
But that's really revealing.
I haven't looked over any witches' hats even, so I don't know how I've gone anywhere near a police officer. It's an absolute sham.
No, what it is it's really revealing that it doesn't appear to be illegal not to stop at one of those checkpoints.
Yeah, because I haven't actually got...
Because I was under the assumption that if you did not pull over and blow into that bag as ordered, that you were in fact breaking a particular law.
Yes.
That's a good observation, David. That's interesting.
Yeah, I'd be interested to see if they actually find the law that says that you have to do that. But yeah. So anyway, we should probably...
I thought that if it was there, they've had plenty of time to do so. Had enough time to invent one.
We put over by KFC, and then they try and charge us with McDonald's laws. The road traffic laws are actually written by Vic Roads.
Yep.
Yeah.
Anyway, look, we'll get into that too. What I'll do is I'll just start to... exactly. I'll introduce you and then we'll spark it off, okay? So, you're listening to Truth Will Overcome Tyranny podcast radio, and basically we've got Jason here who has got a bit of fame recently, a bit of notoriety for not stopping at a DUI RBT checkpoint where they give you the breathalyzer and all that. He chose not to stop and keep driving, and he videotaped the whole episode while in police were in pursuit and everything. And then what happens to runaway slaves who don't stop for the police? He got his window smashed and dragged out of the car, and it was quite the schmozzle. And what's very interesting about this is that what he's been charged with. He's basically, from what I understand, he's been charged with reckless endangerment of life, reckless driving. You may be able to articulate it better for me, Jace.
Another victimless crime like all the rest of them.
Basically,
I gave someone a bit of a scare, but I didn't actually hit anyone.
So reckless driving and all that. Now the thing is, that with that charge, what they're saying is that you were reckless by not pulling over for them, I guess.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, they've got egg on their face, so And we have to say you nearly killed one of us,
Yeah. So it's all gain. Someone's going to get hurt, Someone's going to. But so.
In fact, the only person's life that was in danger on the night was mine.
Well, that was
when they're trying to strangle me with the baton against my headrest.
That was clear from the video footage, and we'll put that up on the show notes.
Great.
A link to that, and you got on ACA, a current affair in Australia, which is hasn't got the best reputation for journalism, but they do tend to cover these sorts of things, and they did a spot on you. They did two spots actually. They the first one was showing your video. Did you get to speak in the first one? I don't know if I caught that one.
I had no idea it was being played at all. I got like 3 phone calls. Oh, chuck it on Channel 9. You wouldn't believe what's on there.
You're on the TV.
Yeah,
right. So they found that on YouTube and thought they'd give it a shot.
Yeah.
And then they got you on as well to defend your position. And they
didn't even make a comment really about, they just played it and didn't even comment on it at all. I thought that was a bit, there was very little about,
speak for itself.
Yeah, it speaks for itself. Yeah.
What do you think of this, guys? But okay, and that got on TV. I missed that. I don't really watch primetime. I watch TV at all. But I heard about it, and I'm thinking, oh man, I wish I could see that. And then the second one came out, and that was a perler. And basically they showed the video again, and then they had you make some comments. I thought that, they got you, referring yourself to as an idiot twice, or, that people might think you are one and stuff. And then they sort of gave you a lecture about rules,
Yeah, like they know the rules, yeah.
Yeah, like, oh, well, what would society be without rules, and, missing the point, of course.
Was that the real point of the interview?
Well, I would say the real point is that it's the rulers that seem to have a problem, that they can't follow their own rules for a start. And anybody who, defies them is severely punished. It's not really, based on any real morality in this instance. It's just a case of, we had one of the slaves got away, we've got to pound him back into line. We're going to scare the absolute crap out of him and make him think twice about what he's doing.
Yeah, he was trying to say, why didn't you open the door? If a cop asks you to, open the door, it's law to open the door. And I said, is that law? I said, exactly. If they ask me to sing, should I start singing?
Yeah, if they're going to chase people down and, enforce something on them, they should at least be able to articulate what it is, that you did instead of just going bananas. And, yeah, sorry, what, do you want to say something there, Baz? Sorry.
I was just going to say, yeah, can I just say that the picture, the footage of those coppers coming up to your vehicle, the guy that had his face right in the camera, man, he looked like a soccer thug.
Yeah,
a skinhead type person that like off Romper Stomper. That's the image in my mind. Of that guy. I had him pegged as some kind of thug off Romper Stomper.
It did look pretty, it did look scary and, sorry, it didn't look like he wanted to talk at all. He was just, barking at you.
Whatsoever, pretty much, yeah. They were pretty intent on ripping me out of the car.
I'd be scared to open the door for that reason alone.
Absolutely, yeah.
Batten, come out and choose.
Yeah. I was going to say, the ACA guys, and I think somewhere else in the media I saw it mentioned, that you barricaded yourself in the car. That's how they described it. And I find that really funny because, when people are, with guns and sticks, batons, threatening to, do you harm basically, they're yelling and screaming at you.
Who are you going to call?
Yeah, I'd sort of want to lock myself in too and let them calm down.
Coming and I've just put all this wood up over my windows. It's just that I had my doors locked, which is what you do when you're driving around in case you're getting carjacked. Yeah, it's just the fact that I had my door locked. Oh, he barricaded himself within his car.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting use of language, but
yeah, they like to sensationalise things. Yeah.
Well, we all barricade ourselves, don't we, on our way down to the shop?
Yeah. I barricade my car before I leave it in the car park to go shopping, just make sure it's nicely barricaded. But
sort of lock themselves after I've sort of driven 20 metres or something. They just lock themselves, which is a good little safety feature.
Sure. So anyway, I mean, it was kind of smart ass what you did, like you just, and what made you sort of, defy our overlords in such a way?
Yeah, cause I'm doing.
That's okay, man.
It is.
But, did you get my question?
Oh, was it
no.
Might as
well
utter it again.
I'll say it again as best I can. Okay, so, it's a pretty out there kind of thing to do, what you did. Not many people sort of, gather it up to do that sort of thing. So what drove you to, defy your overlords in such a way?
Just sticking up for my, lawful rights. That they're a corporation and I've got no contract with them. I've got no duty to be stopped with them unless I'm under arrest.
So those RBTs, Jason, how common are they in Melbourne? I mean, they're common enough in Perth, but Melbourne being 3 or 4 times bigger than Perth. Is it right, like overtime city for them on Friday nights and that?
Yeah. I don't drive around too much at night, but yeah, they are quite common, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah, it's good for the bank balance for the coppers. I'm sure they don't have to do much. They just sit there, pull people over, get them blowing bags, easy money.
Yeah, that's right.
There's the thing about breathalyzer checkpoints that I have a problem with, and that is that, you know, it sounds reasonable. We want to stop drunk driving. We want to reduce accidents and things like that. But at the same time, it's also it's stealing your time. Okay,
and your money quite often,
and your money quite often, because, you know, they're forcing whole highways of people or randomly selecting people based on nothing more than you happen to be there, and then making you prove that you're not drunk or on drugs or whatever.
Guilty until proven innocent, aren't you?
Exactly. So it's like an excuse for turning that around on people and making them prove their innocence. And, you know, I don't advocate drink driving.
Yeah, they're forced to blow into this against your will, otherwise we're taking you down the station or making your life hard for you tonight, you know?
Yeah, exactly. It's a compliance thing, and I think that people should be allowed to travel without being harassed if there's nothing, you know, no real reason to pull you over other than you happen to be there.
Well, we can often provide a promotion-seeking cop with opportunities to escalate things so that he can get his extra quota for the night.
Well, there's that too, and you know, they do have quotas, like that's been proven over and over again across, you know, multiple countries, let alone Australia, that the quotas happen, and yeah, you know, it's also seeing if your rego's up to date and all those other things, you know.
So, like what happened to me, David, I was ostensibly stopped for a roadside breathalyzer test as well, but that wasn't good enough. I passed the breathalyzer test hands down because I hadn't had a drop, and because this guy had recognised me from a previous situation, he demanded a license check as well. The license check proved that I was who I was, and then he wanted to search my car. I had my son with me, so I didn't want to escalate the situation. As far as I knew I didn't have any pot anyway, so I just let him do that. But then that wasn't good enough for him either. He wanted to check my boot, and there was nothing in my boot, and then so he wanted to fucking frisk me. I swear if he didn't find some in my camera case in the end like he did, he would have fucking picked me up by my legs and shaken me out, see if I could get something for him, you know?
And that's the thing, you know, no one should be forced to have time for a fishing expedition to frame you. I was taking my
son to fucking school that day, David.
Yeah. So, you know, people have stuff to do, and I don't think that people should feel they have time to play their games. And, you know, it really, you know, makes me sad that people would look at what you did, Jason, and say that, you know, you're a lunatic, or that, you just don't want to follow the rules. You know, I think that their rules are unreasonable. I think that they're, you know, using, statistics to, you know, give them, extra powers so they can make everyone's life hard.
Yeah. They're just turning, normal mums and dads into criminals and justifying it.
Yeah, especially if they're going on these fishing expeditions on people, and, people should be protected from that. So the thing is, what I find interesting is that, they didn't charge you with not pulling over and not blowing into the bag and didn't follow orders or whatever. They just tried to, at least from what we know at the moment, what they charge you with at the time, that you're just being somewhat of a menace, that they's in some broad category. And, by not, you know, bowing down and saying, yes, sir, no, sir, please, 3 bags full, sir.
Yeah, because I'm not registered. I'm not licensed. So,
Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
So, and you, okay. Well, that's interesting. And so,
It makes it even more colourful.
it does. So how do you get around like that? How does that sort of, work out for you?
Yeah, well, I've been doing it fine for a good, 4 months, or so.
Okay. And, you know, you've been pulled over and had to do the, screw you thing or what?
So it's not because you can't afford it,
No.
Jason.
Well, yeah, I just don't want to feed the beast. Yeah, as to say.
Oh,
Yeah.
I completely
I know it's all
understand.
a scam. Yeah, so, yeah, why do I need permission to drive on the roads and all this sort of thing? I'm just, why do you need permits and license to do just about everything today, you know?
I've got the answer for that one, Jason. It's, because they say so.
Because they get green-coloured things in return.
It's an interesting thing because, getting around and not asking permission and not paying for their fees and things, is there a legal basis that you can kind of draw upon? Like what I hear is that you're not operating a commercial vehicle; it's for personal use,
Yeah,
and so
exactly.
I don't fall under your corporate slave grid in that regard.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, well, there's a lot of rules. There is some rules saying that unless you're conducting commerce on the roads, you don't require registration or a license.
Okay.
But we're not told that, are we? As we come out of school, we're all told to hurry up and get your license.
Yep. Your badge of honour, your
Graduation into adulthood.
Exactly. Yeah. Get that
Rite of passage.
Get that photo ID. The funny thing is, I never got a photo ID. I've only got I had a student photo ID, and after school, I didn't want to get photo ID, and it's not because I was a criminal, but really felt that one of the major differences in my mind between living in a Nazi or Soviet style dictatorship and living in a free society was not having to show, some ID everywhere you go just to prove who you are. Mm-hmm. That you can still somewhat do business, without having to get validated by the authorities. And I've kept that going to this day, but
good on you.
And I've chosen not to drive mostly because of the ID thing, but also, the rego, the insurance, everything you have to pay. Like insurance, I'm not totally against, but all the permission slips and hoops you got to jump through to get their permission.
You'll eat a budget without one, that's for sure, David.
As if I wouldn't, be able to be safe on the road without all of, giving them money. And so I'm with you on all of that. I don't think people should have to ask permission, for everything they do. And
use their car.
Yeah, to use their own, and then not even own your car or your property.
Register it to the state, yeah.
Exactly, you register it to this authority who can take it away from you by the definition of registering it. So,
or if you drive it too fast, then they want to call it hoon law so they can steal your car and stuff.
Yeah, and then tell you what you can and can't put on your car or in the hood or anything else. It's just ridiculous. And
they've really got to look into this because I thought having an unregistered car that they wouldn't have the right to take it away or to the impound yard. But that's what they did. Yeah.
They have already taken it, have they, Jason?
But yeah, they took it on the night. Yeah, they impounded it.
When are you able to get it back? What's the story there?
I drove it back yesterday. Yeah.
Yeah, right. Well, we've got the hoon laws here in Victoria, which
they're nationwide, mate. One way.
Victoria.
Nationwide, yeah, right. Well, that doesn't surprise me. It just ends up being standardised, all this tyranny. But basically, the hoon laws, and the media really whip that up and serves yourself right type stuff.
They're the accomplices, aren't they? They're the other beneficiaries is the media. They keep on raking out that slime and calling it news. And they don't have to upgrade themselves at all if they just hang in tough with the cops and publish anything that they tell them to.
So do they take your car under the Hoon laws, Jace?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, right. So basically they can
Under
take...
the pretense of evading police, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So with that, because the reckless driving offence, I guess, would have done it, would have triggered that Hoon law where they can basically confiscate your car and never give it back.
Mm-hmm.
And crush it, basically. That's what they ultimately reckon they do with them.
Yeah, I think after 3 strikes they crush it or something. Yeah.
3 strikes, okay, so yeah, you probably hadn't hit your 3rd strike and so long forever car type thing, but yeah, that's the extent of it, here these days. If you do a burnout, if you do 3 burnouts, they not only get to take your car, they get to crush it and probably sell it on the other end anyway, or chop shop it or some shit.
I think they force you to watch your car being crushed.
Right.
Oh, isn't that
I think they invite you to watch.
Unbelievable.
No! It shows they got a heart.
We're gonna let you see it destroyed.
Yeah, they don't want you to miss out on all the fun. Yeah.
Wow. And they were talking about bringing in jet ski Hoon laws.
Okay.
Well.
For the bay in Port Phillip Bay, they want to be able to confiscate your jet ski if you're too much of a dick with it.
Mm-hmm.
It's possibly a good idea sometimes, those sort of things, but they always fall into just more revenue hunting and this it's just a joke, the law here in this country. It really is so far beyond contempt.
Well, the problem is that stuff like that, like the Hoon laws, it incentivizes police to, be vindictive and abuse that to
escalate things,
take people's property, and, I just think there needs to be a respect for private property, like, especially from the government. Like, we need to, say to the government, no, you can't just go around taking things from people, because you don't like how they use them.
Because you've made up a new law last week.
Yeah, and it's gonna end up, I can see it now, it'll end up with Chop Shop and they'll get rid of the whole force you to watch thing and they'll make money out the other end of it.
Jason, I'm interested in the court process. Did you have to, did they put you in lockup or did you were you able to sign off that night? And
yeah, what happened?
The next day,
What happened to you as a result of them? All we saw was, them going to grab you basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was strangled. I was put when they finally got me out of the ground, they just put me to the ground, handcuffed me, put me in the...
How many were there, Jason?
Oh, there was a good 3 cars there. And I had the whole station entertained all night, giving them a good education.
Yeah.
I failed to identify myself for a good 6 or 7 hours.
Right.
So they left me in lockup in my underpants and t-shirt.
The mystery man in the underpants.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, so
they stripped you down and locked you in a cell and left you there.
Look, I hold no state of office. I'm not a resident. I'm not a citizen. I'm not a person. What joinder have you got what jurisdiction do you have over me? And they were just going, oh, well, you've got a birth certificate, haven't you? We'll do what we want with you.
Yeah, they've got the ownership papers, so
yeah, that's right. Yeah,
unbelievable. So they actually got into the birth certificate thing with you.
Yes, yeah. That's the only joinder they could tell me that they had over me. Yeah,
and they used that as
as a gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, I've actually got the registration of.
And it goes to show they know what's going on. They at least have some degree of, understanding, and they're fine with it. They're on the winning team or something.
Yeah, what they don't realise that we are people of flesh and blood, and we've got a soul. But all these fines and charges.
Yeah.
Are being, charged against your name in capital letters and a legal fiction. Yeah, your straw man. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That's
so
a rather difficult concept for people outside of a certain movement on the internet, Jason, to get a bit of to get their head around. Would you like to go into it for us a bit?
Well, I did watch a video by Lawrence Jordan, and he goes right from the start that, like, admiralty law, for example, a ship will come into the dock, he'll unload his cargo, and then you're giving a berthing certificate. So, yeah.
Oh, I see, yeah.
Yeah. So you've gone to the dock, you come out of your mama's waters, you're given a berthing certificate, you're owned by the
yeah, I think I saw that one myself just the other night.
Yeah,
so
that's a good one. Yeah.
You've got the birthing certificate, and you're owned by the state. We are slave cattle for the state.
And yet, because we're mostly educated by television, we have this idea that when someone goes to court, there's this fair process, and there's always a jury, and there's this really honourable judge that'll dispense fairness.
Oh, yeah. What a sham that is.
It is. It's really difficult to get your head around when you first go in there, and you get all this intimidation and all of this obscure language, and you're treated like a piece of furniture and just put it, and suddenly all of those things don't make any sense at all.
Yeah, the justice system being anything other than an extortion racket is a fairy tale. It's it's like princesses kissing frogs and stuff. It just doesn't happen that way.
Yeah.
But unless it's a very high profile, case that gets everybody's attention, and even then that's no guarantee.
True, and so nevertheless...
By police, they're saying, look, you'll have your day in court, you'll get your chance to have your say then, but you'll find the judges aren't interested in a word you've got to say, and they're using all this jargon and legalese.
Yeah.
They've got their own language. What you think means in English means a completely different thing under the Black Laws Dictionary or their jargon.
That's right.
So have you had to face court at all so far, Jace?
No. I've been a pretty good boy. Maybe a couple of years ago, I had to go to court over a suspended licence charge.
Oh, no. I mean, over this particular issue, you've been to court. Did you have to go to court the following morning or anything?
No. I did actually, when I was freezing to death in the early hours of the morning, I just decided to identify myself to get the hell out of there. And I did sign something with VC. I did sign something under duress.
Yeah, and what was it that you signed? You signed that you'd done something that you were, in their words, guilty of.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I did. Sign the impound papers to get out. Yeah.
Yeah, but you sign at VC, which basically signifies that you're under duress.
Yeah.
Okay.
And nothing picked up on that. They don't know what any of that stuff means.
I was going to ask you. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Some of them do, but and some of them get real mad when you do it. But yeah.
Oh, so I haven't come across that yet. I've done it when I've opened bank accounts and all that sort of thing. No one's ever picked up on it so far.
Opening bank accounts, yeah.
Yeah.
That's funny. So, yeah, but okay. It's pretty outrageous stuff. I mean, the ACA, put you up as a bit of a fool or poked a bit of fun. Yeah, a lot of the public aren't going to immediately get it. I think it had a good impact though, in the sense that people saw that raw violence going on
exactly.
against you, which was pretty over the top, really. They defaulted to the you're on the way home from a bank robbery or something.
I know, yeah.
That seemed to be the vibe, you know, like, oh, this guy's fucking,
He almost killed my mate.
this guy's dangerous. Yeah, he
Yeah.
he nearly ran over my foot or something, and you know he's got to pay.
Yeah, even if I was portrayed, you know, in a bad way, I still see it as a victory because I got a chance to say to 4 million people that the police are an illegal corporation. On the second night, I got a chance to say that I'm ruled by my creator, not a bureaucrat. So all those things to me are positives. You know?
They certainly are, Jason. I thought you had handled yourself really well because those musicians can be real bastards, you know, ask you all sorts of things.
Yeah. I mean, I jumped on the negatives there in the beginning, but yeah, that's right. Like, I think the overall impact was positive because people are like, Jesus, you know, if you know, well, the other thing is a bit of a chilling effect. Like they're going, oh, this is what happens to you if you step out of line and
I think
stuff.
that's why they let that go.
Yeah, that's right. It had that double thing to it. So, those that are a bit awake are like, wow, man, go, you know, oh my God, look what they did. And then, you know, others are just going, like you pointed out on the piece, you know, then there's those that are slightly awake going, oh, you know, people are just going to think how silly to defy the masters. Of course they're going to beat you up. But
fluoride has a part in that, doesn't it?
They almost make it as if they should beat you up and they have every right to.
Yeah, well, that's what I stated with them. I wish they didn't edit that out. They said, oh, do you know, they're able to use force if you don't do this and that. And I said, well, assault's assault. And, it should never be justified. And if I'm being assaulted, I've got every right to,
defend myself.
Defend myself, yeah. So assault's assault and self-defense. Assault's never justified in my eyes.
And not because you're wearing a blue uniform and you've got a taser.
Yeah, well, if there was proper dialogue and they said, look, you know, we're going to judge you with this and this, you know, if there was a bit more dialogue, I probably would have let myself out of the car. But, you know.
Oh, they'd psych themselves up. All that time they were chasing you, they would have been seething and writhing and eyes popping out of their skulls.
Don't they have sort of two ways as well that can send them a bit crazy, like they're on roids?
Yeah, yes, exactly. Yeah.
I think
the messaging device I used on a smart meter, when a friend of mine goes past police cars, it goes off the skull as well. So whatever equipment they've got going on in their car and whatever they got up against their shoulder, that two-way, yeah, they're getting a lot of radio every day too. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, there's this truck that they've got in a big van in Footscray that has all kinds of antennas hanging off it. It's got a parabolic mic. It's got you know, dishes on it. It's a crazy looking thing, and it's got all these cameras on it too, like pointing all over the place. And yeah, it's a frightening looking thing, and you know, it can listen through walls and everything. It's a menace, if you ask me.
Yeah, I've never seen that. What's that? It goes around the Fitzroy area and stuff like that, does it?
Nah, Footscray.
Footscray area. Okay.
Yeah. They have it parked in the main road there every now and then.
Okay.
Just sitting there, and I guess it cruises around too. But yeah, you know, this is the kind of, so imagine what kind of frequencies are coming off of that thing, and what it's doing to the people inside the van. But
exactly.
Yeah.
What about the people who work on like the mobile phone towers?
Yeah.
They wonder about what's going on with it. They're spending hours up there, you know, installing these things and working on them. I'm sure they're not.
I haven't thought about that actually, but there, must be people that put them up, and it must, yeah.
Yeah, definitely feel for the blue collars that have to deal with all this technology on a day-to-day basis and all these radio frequencies, microwaves, and all sorts. But yeah, which brings us back to the smart meters. I mean, we're all forced to have one. It's a government enforced monopoly to have them. Part of this big smart grid power grid, which they reckon is going to
surveillance grid. Come on, fuck on.
Yeah, exactly. It measures everything down to the appliance level. Now they're telling everybody that these things only emit once a day, twice a day, something like that. The back to base signal, and it piggybacks off all the other smart meters back to base. But that doesn't seem to be the case. Like you made a video showing how you were, you had what was that gadget you had measuring the cycles of the
a radiation emitter. Yeah, it costs like close to $400 on eBay.
Is it like a Geiger counter?
Yeah, you could say that. Yeah. The noise it makes when it's going off the chart is quite disturbing.
I saw it, and you pointed this thing at your smart meter, and it was just going off, and it was pulsing every few seconds. It wasn't like even once a minute. It was every few freaking seconds.
Yeah, so that got us a bit paranoid. I don't know if it's because I've been ringing them up, giving them a hard time, that they think I'm a bit of a dissenter, but mine seemed to be going more berserk than some others he's come across and tested.
Okay.
That doesn't sound too unlikely at all, Jason. I have heard of targeted individuals.
Okay, yeah.
Who knows? Yeah, but the other thing is though that then you made a video of it of you measuring the waves off this thing, and it was just spurting up to 2,000 every 10 seconds or something. Was it 10 seconds? 5 seconds? It was pretty frequent.
Yeah, and it's definitely 10 seconds, at least 10 seconds. Yeah.
10 seconds, right. They've been telling everybody that it's once or twice a day or something. So, they're caught lying on that one.
I've got a note that, the device only reads up to 2,000. So it could well have been a lot more.
Wow, okay. So it was breaking the meter on that one.
Hitting the.
And what really struck a note with me on your video was when you walked around the other side, which was, the wall, which was basically
my daughter's room. Yeah.
Your daughter's room, and you'd put, it's going to sound corny, but you'd put tinfoil up there, which is actually pretty sensible, and that had shielded it a bit, but you were still getting readings.
Yeah, as we put it to the edge of the foil, we were getting up to 700 or 800. Yeah. So it's coming through the wall.
Yeah, that's right, because you're sort of casually standing back and it was getting up to 10 or 20 or 30.
Yeah. Not too bad. Yeah.
Yeah, but still not ideal either.
Exactly, yeah. Anything over 5 is doing your body damage, yeah.
Yeah, so, and then you, did you call anybody and, complain or say, get rid of this thing? What did you what was the next step?
Yeah, about 3 or 4 weeks before we did the test, I've been ringing up saying, look, I don't want this thing anymore. I've done my research, and they've tried to give me facts and figures and all that. I said, look, I'm not interested in your facts and figures. I just want it taken. And we were bouncing back. I made like 3 or 4 calls, and then in the end I said, look, as a layperson, if I remove this meter myself, can I bring myself any harm? And they said, definitely, mate. It's very dangerous. Don't do it. I said, well, that's exactly what I'm going to do if you don't come and remove this in the next 24 hours.
Yep.
So they were given fair warning. So when I bring it back to them on Monday, they've been told what's going to happen. They didn't offer me any remedy. They said, you've got it now, you're stuck with it. There was no remedy offered whatsoever. Yeah, so, yeah, I'm putting my line through the sand. I'm saying this is for the well-being of my daughter, her health and well-being. I don't want her radiated every night. So, you can have your device back. I won't be accepting another one on my property, and the ball's in their court.
Yeah, and then you made another video of the empty box where the thing had been ripped out, and looked like a pretty neat job too.
Yes.
and then he was saying, stick it up your ass and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
With, and good on you.
I did rename all the videos just so I'm not sort of, blocking a certain demographic of people.
Sure.
A lot of people aren't happy with these devices. So I've just called them the silent weapon smart meters.
Yep. That's right.
Yeah.
I noticed that for your name change because before you were, there was a bit of foul language in it, but it was pretty funny.
Yeah, I was a bit fired up, but it was a bit of tongue in cheek in it, yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's good. I mean, we want to reach as big an audience as we can, and we drop an F-bomb or two on our show, but I generally think that people have grown up enough to deal with it. But anyway,
aren't such words allowed on TV now? Don't we see them on movies and in The Sopranos and every other damn fucking thing anyway?
True. So, but anyway, no, it's. I think the videos you made were pretty powerful on that, and I think you should get a lot more views for it. I think you got quite a few already, but if you want to share any of those other, we can reseed, re-upload, and see if we can get some more people looking at them and stuff. I've been meaning to do that, but and also, if you want to contribute at all, on our website and stuff, collaborate with me and, we can get some stuff up. We're sort of trying to ramp up the audience a bit. But anyway, it'd be really cool. We should work on some things.
Yeah, I'll be happy to upload all my videos on your site. Yeah, I think what you guys are doing is great. Yeah. Anything that raises more awareness to, the construct we're in, is a good thing. Yeah.
Yeah, and thanks. Yeah, and we want to sort of, we want to get more people seeing you guys.
For starters, let's offer a different viewpoint on this thing that we call Australia.
Yeah. All we hear is, the pluses of checkpoints and, how good all these rules are and, the sort of
official everything. Everything is fucking sanitized that you see on that box and that everyone in other countries sees on their box about this country. So everything that most people are thinking about this fucking country is total bollocks.
Yeah, I mean, if we keep going the way we're going, we're screwed. We're surrounded by energy thieves.
Yeah.
Like, just say you've got a full-time job, you're making $1,000 a week, you're spending 300 or so on your mortgage or on your real estate agent. The rest of your money's going on private corporations and utility bills, car loans, and you're left with 150 or 200 at the end of the week. And we're doing this week after week. None of these corporations are putting back into the system for the greater good. Not at all. What are we doing it? We're just running around like ants for no benefit. We're no richer at the end of the year than what we started with.
Well, that's the job of inflation, Jason, so that they make sure that the sheeple don't escape their pen.
Yes, that's right. And all these markets are manipulated. All the interest and inflation's manipulated by the big boys in the banks. Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. You hit that one on the head.
Notes, but that's another couple of hours.
Yeah.
Look at the communities, for instance. Look at this thing, for instance, that I see in mine, where there's, say, 10 supermarkets in the area, yet there's many thousands of unemployed, particularly youths, and yet you go into these supermarkets and there's only 3 out of about 12 or 15 checkouts that are being operated. So everyone has to queue up for these 2 or 3 overworked individuals, and yet they can't employ half a dozen other people for the other aisles out of the big pool of unemployed. They just let everyone fucking stagnate. Yes.
Yeah, we're capable of so much more, Why can't we have free gardens on every corner? Yeah, but the other fact is that they're trying to make you be the checkout chick now. Have you noticed that? Yeah. The self-serve?
Yeah, I hate those self-serves.
They do my head in. You scan something or you haven't put it in the bag properly and you've got to call someone for assistance anyway. Yeah.
Yeah,
Quite apart from them turning cigarettes from the easiest transaction at the supermarket into the trickiest with the stroke of a Gillard pen.
Oh,
Yeah.
I found that
So
really.
for assistance, because I've just put in my macadamias as peanuts, and now I've got to call someone to check my bag.
It's all good fun. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
I think that, I'd rather support a job than, check out with a machine. And,
I'd much rather go to be served by a person.
yeah. And,
I should say, there is no persons.
yeah. Well, it seems like security's a growth industry these days. That seems to be where all the jobs are. If you like standing over people and, shoving people and, scowling at people, then, you've got a wonderful future in security.
They've got this other growth industry too. It's called employment agencies, and they have lots of people trapped. They have lots of people trapped in them for great 4 and 6 and 8 hour periods of many days during the week, sort of like on treadmills and stuff and ticking boxes and just wasting lots and lots and lots of time and never ever getting a job for any cunt.
It's called, entertaining the unemployed.
Yeah, but yeah, we're lucky that, that 1876 slavery was abolished, aren't we?
Oh yeah, man, I'm loving this. This more sophisticated slavery is just great.
Yeah. At least you can be semi-comfortable in your slavery.
Forced to work for the dole, but no, slavery's illegal. Don't worry about that.
Yeah. Yeah, we just changed it around a bit. Well, what they did was, when they freed the chattel slaves in say, America, that just created a whole nother tax base, like it just opened up, a tax base to exploit. But anyway, it was exchanged for another form, they all went north and worked in factories and got on the wage slavery system.
Yeah.
And rather than just tax a slave owner, you're now taxing all the slaves as well.
Yeah.
If you want to talk about plantations. But anyway, look, it's, I guess with your situation, I guess you've got to ask yourself, where does it all end? And, I guess you've got a court appearance coming up. Yeah.
26th of November. Yeah.
Right. I'll see if I can, come along and support you. But yeah, I think it'd be good if this gets a bit of attention because, police, we see these videos popping up and a lot of them come from America. You see the vast, police brutality videos coming out of, the US where it's just unbelievably, police state on steroids stuff over there. We don't see enough of it get filmed and put out there in Australia. Like we've seen a few and we're seeing more, but, I think that it's still relatively rare for people to get it on film.
It is. I'm still astounded I had that film because, they did keep my, phone for 4 days.
Well, that's it. I was kind of surprised.
Yeah.
I think it's because they wanted to use it on the media, mate.
Maybe,
I get that impression, because a lot of people's phone recordings and stuff get wiped when they
deleted.
It happens. I've heard of it happening quite a bit, and
I've got a funny story about that. Yeah, but I'll keep going. Yeah.
But they're basically for this one, I think it's one of those chilling effect ones. It's like I think it's meant for the slaves. This is what happened type stuff. Anyway, so you
totally illegal to. We've got every right to film them in public. It's totally illegal. I'm keeping that for evidence. That's mine. Yeah.
Well, they won't let you record in a court anymore.
No, not in a court. Well, we actually walked into county court the other day to support a friend in court, a good friend of mine of truth, and they've got a plaque there just as you make the first corner, recognising the law of the originals. And we just went to take a photo of that before we actually got into the elevator. And G4S were all over us, and they demanded to see the gallery, and they were quite prepared to delete the photo there and then. There was like 5 or 6 G4S's over this young boy who tried to take the photo. Yeah, right. It's just Gestapo, mate. Yeah.
It's so unfriendly, and
really. How many cops do you reckon there are in this country?
Oh, yeah. That's a good question.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, I was just thinking about it then.
10,000 to each state. If that, yeah. 10 to 15,000 in each state.
In each state, yeah. They're probably, except Tasmania, maybe.
There's not as many grasshoppers as ants, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, yeah, there's that. But they certainly have a lot more firepower, so to speak, and the dice loaded, so to speak, in their favour in the courts and all that kind of shit. There may be more of us, but they have most of the so-called power loaded in their favour at this point in time.
Yeah, well,
purely because everyone
in Tassie really helped them out a lot, I think. Let them get away with a lot. Yeah.
What was that, did?
The false flag in Tasmania,
Port Arthur
incident, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's precisely why they pulled that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they weren't clever. They've been planning this for a while, but they just do it slowly and gradually that we don't even notice it happening. You know.
You know what that's called? Fabian socialism.
Yeah.
Jace is fully up on all that stuff, and that's the other thing.
Well, others may not have been, but yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Well, no, that's the other thing I'd like to add is that, I've known you for a while, Jason, and, a lot of the things, you've been doing on Facebook and things like that, has been really good. Like, and you've shown an intelligence, of an understanding of how things work, in the real world. And so, yeah, it's really good, and then, getting on a current affair and all of that really blew my mind. That was so, just like, wow.
I didn't see that coming, no.
That's amazing.
I'll give you my side of the story. I emailed them straight away, and they were on the blower at 6:30 in the morning, the next morning. Yeah, so. Yeah.
So, I see I see a guy, in doing what you've done there, with the police, pursuit and whatever, as, someone who, just can't, keep being told what to do, just gotta, break free and go, you know what, I'm just not putting up with it.
Take it anymore.
Exactly, yeah. It's like,
I'm not taking it anymore.
Exactly. Yeah. So, and what people see in the video, that they don't really see, who you are and you don't know you, and, being someone that does, know you pretty well, there's so much more to you than that. And
what's depicted, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and I believe you're into spiritual healing and things like that, and you've got some
Reiki, aquaponics. I've got a lot more other interests than
aquaponics too. Yeah, cool.
Yeah, yes. Yeah.
Oh man, we gotta get together and get a system going or something. I'd love to learn some aquaponics for sure.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's just opened my eyes up on how easy it is. I've got like 3 IBC sort of, tanks going in my backyard, and best thing I've ever done. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. Oh man, I'd love to see some pictures and stuff, like, progress, getting it all together, and, that'd be awesome because, this is the other thing as well. Like, okay, you had an act of angry defiance, got you in some trouble. You're doing this thing with defying them on the smart meters. But beyond that, there's, looking at ways to unplug from it all and be self-sufficient and
be a loving person.
Yeah, and
Yes.
just do the leave me aloneism, the I break with the thing, and it's not an easy thing to do at all. Like,
No, it's not easy. We're outnumbered. I class myself as I'm full of light, but every now and then we've got to step into the darkness and take it on. Every now and then,
Definitely. We all have dark periods. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we've got to sort of be, there's a line through the middle there that we've got to sort of step on each side every now and then. Yeah.
It's a fluid reality. There's no way to just get at a cakewalk all the time unless you got such a spoon in your gob. It ain't funny.
Yeah, that's right.
It's hard to get a get out of jail free card, that's for sure.
Oh, yeah. Just what they're doing to Australia. They're mining the shit out of it. They've got the CSG mining going on all over the place, mate. If we don't step up, and tell them to frack off, what are we left with, Not
much. Who's making these decisions for us?
Yeah, these people with their palms greased and don't give a shit. They'll be living in some, exotic third world island somewhere.
Well, look at Gillard. She's already out of the country into an American job. She doesn't have to stay around after she put the wrecking ball on the country with her bullshit.
Mm. Yeah, let me count the ways that she's screwed this country. This is the thing, like, I suppose with this radio show and things like that and doing interviews with people like yourself, we want to, let people know that there's people out there taking a stand, and the more people that do it, the more effective it's going to be. People just not complying, just saying, I'm just going to go home, or Could
you imagine, for instance, David and Jason and listeners, if say 10 people in each city did that every Friday and Saturday night?
Yes.
And it's amazing. I wonder how many people don't stop for the roadblocks, and how often does that happen? Probably not much.
Well, maybe it might happen a little more often now. Wouldn't that be an interesting thing to observe?
Maybe.
It wasn't a real pleasant experience, so I think next time I'll just pull over and get a piece of paper.
It's a hard thing to sit here and go, come on, kids, it's all the rage. Everyone is doing it.
Yeah, like, I don't want to endorse people to do it, but
But it is.
You showed big kahunas to do it yourself once, man. That's all I got to say.
Well, that's right. Hats off to you for being the one in a million or whatever.
It was just, I just had a rush of blood. It was just a thing in the moment, My creator said do it, and I went for it.
I remember the bit where you're flying, you're going down the highway, and you're just going,
live in the moment.
Yeah, you're going, free man on the road, something like that.
Yeah. Certainly had a big buzz on at the time by the sound of it.
Yeah. I was flying. Yeah.
I bet the adrenaline was pumping high when the window smashed as well.
Actually, I want to ask about that just for a second too, Jason. Do you think you were traumatized by that, and what would they call it, PTSD? Is there any aspect of that you can turn against them?
Oh, definitely. Everything they did breaks, all my inalienable rights. Yeah.
Have you made any inquiries about making an official complaint about it?
I do want to do that. I haven't done it as yet.
Well, let's just put the word out there for people with a bit of legal background and whatever. If they've got some time to spare and would like to do a bit of pro bono work or just some good conscience work for a fellow like Jason, how about you contact us at TWOT? Truth Will Overcome Tyranny, and we'll put you in contact with Jason to help him with just doing that.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not even pro bono. I'm sure that there are damages to be collected from this police department that
That's what I'm thinking.
went this far. I mean, definitely some damages involved there. I mean, it wasn't just smashing a window. It's laying siege to someone's car and breaking and entering the car.
I've had that happen to me, David and Jason. I had a mate that was pissed, get angry because I wouldn't open the window for him, and he smashed the window right next to me with his fist, actually, and it scared the shit out of me. And I got quite a bit of a spray from the glass and all that sort of stuff, and it was really loud. And I was just thinking it'd be even worse with the police truncheon.
It's not I don't recommend it for anyone. So you never get over it. You'll never forget it.
All right, that's legitimate onset of post-traumatic stress disorder that is only attributable to that incident.
Yes, indeed.
Doesn't reinforce a lot of trust in authority, and
I've they're not there to be peacekeepers anymore. They're just policy enforcers with they've got.
The line I remember is, "This is thuggery."
Your response to them smashing the window was priceless. Like you went into a Viking, I wouldn't say a rage, but just a roar.
What the hell's going on here?
Exactly, and it was a mighty roar, and it was completely justified, in its tone and everything.
I could feel it.
They finally admitted I was under arrest when I'm covered in glass.
Yes, you're under arrest.
What for? They just said you're under arrest. Like, that's enough.
Yeah.
Can you be told what you're arrested for?
Well, they certainly didn't have that on hand, did they?
No. I find out 6 or 7 hours later. Yeah.
And so, they kept you in the cell, basically because you wouldn't identify yourself. I mean, they do this all the time. If you try and John Doe them, they will, torture you until you, come to safe.
They've nearly ripped off my ligament off my thumb too. They got my thumb in a torture hold and forced me to do, fingerprints as well.
Right.
Yeah, I told them I do not consent. I know the laws, and they said, "Well, don't consent." Yeah, we're allowed to use force against you.
Is that what they say? They actually articulate that?
Yeah, they articulated that on an interview. I've got the disc here. Yeah, and that they went for it, and they put my thumb in a torture hold for quite some time. Yeah.
Yeah, and the point I want to make as well about police is that they shouldn't have extra rights just because they have a badge. They shouldn't have any more extra rights than anybody else. And that's actually how the police was founded. It was founded on the principles when they brought policing in, that they did not have any rights above and beyond anybody else.
Mm. If we're all doing an open carry, if we're all armed, they wouldn't be doing half the shit they're doing today.
Good call.
Yeah, you're quite right there.
Yeah.
They'll be, 10 times as polite and,
Exactly.
But they don't want that. They want it the other way around. They want you defenseless.
Like Stalin and all that's going, First they, take the arms off the citizens. And all
that's
that
right. They find a poor little guy with an IQ of 65 and put him in all the right places and then blame the whole thing on him and take the guns off the people, and it's all done within a few months. And it was like our own 9/11. Most of us were still scratching our heads weeks later thinking, what the fuck went on with that, And we never ever really got the full story, just like the Yanks didn't on 9/11, until a few years later when a few really dedicated investigative journalists and people who wouldn't let matters lay, like Wendy Scare and so forth, put out information enough for others to piece together a more realistic story about what happened on that day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, the whole thing seems pretty unlikely. Someone with mentally handicapped, person, you know, busting off shots like a marksman.
No, not unlikely, David. Absolutely impossible.
Yeah, just executing people.
We're talking about 3 killing fields and 35 or more dead people, plus injured, with different changing weapons, all achieved by one person with an IQ of under 65. That's too much planning a person of 65 can't plan a picnic.
Yeah, it's on its face pretty ridiculous. And then they didn't actually, put him up in court. They didn't present any evidence. They just got a guilty plea out of him.
Well, they did that by, emotionally bludgeoning, his mother because Martin Bryant himself all the way said, I'm not guilty, I didn't do this, until they finally got his mother to beg him to admit to doing it.
Yep, and now it's illegal to carry firearms in most cases, unless you're on their team, on the corporate government team.
Just finally on that, because they got a guilty plea out of him by duress or whatever, emotional extortion or whatever they did, because they were able to extract that guilty plea, that was the reason they used that they didn't give him a trial. There's no need to because he's guilty and blah, blah.
Yep. Yeah, it's just, we'll make it easy on the families and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, the plot thickens.
Yep.
But how many times have you seen him interviewed since or heard any stories about it?
No, we can't bring any attention to him because he's such a bad person.
Yes. But it's like there's not even any public curiosity anywhere to the biggest case that this country's known.
Well, there's also a cultural, longing for a world without guns, and that's been played upon, and so people are living in this.
So that's right. We're now this idyllic place without guns.
Yeah, we're living in the fantasy,
utopia, the socialist utopia.
That's right. I mean, have you been shot recently? I mean,
I hadn't realised. But
it used to be like the OK.
I get it.
It used to be like the OK Corral, it was just shots going off randomly all over the place because people, just idiots with guns. They just like licking shots in the air in the middle of the city, and shooting people in the cheek 40 stories up, That's
what little Afghanistan in Melbourne there.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, wasn't it like that before 96? So I can't remember.
Yeah.
It was.
There's a little poem going around at the moment. First they came for the MCs, but I wasn't an MC, so I didn't do anything.
Yeah.
You get it?
I think I've heard one similar to that lately. Us
MCs got to stick together.
Yeah, that's it. Microphone controller.
So it's just incredible, where it all goes, and it's funny, when someone like you steps out of line, and you get to see what happens, and it really is a case of any nail sticking up. You gotta whack it down hard.
I mean, look at the Australian culture though. Haven't we always been held up and eulogised as those who wouldn't bow down to authority, as the ones that would be a larrikin, etc. Those sort of qualities were held up as typically and wonderfully Australian up until the 80s. And now we find ourselves in this antiseptic 21st American century where everyone's got to be homogenised, bloody carbon-eating, politically correct fucking robots.
Yeah, she'll be right, mate. Just keep your head down. Happiness is just around the corner. Yeah.
And so I just want to commend you for being yourself, Jason, and being an Australian character, and just owning your story and sharing your story with Australia and the rest of the world. Thank you very much for coming on tonight. It's been really excellent getting to know you.
Yes, likewise, mate. I've really enjoyed this conversation. Yeah, thanks very much.
Yeah, so you know Baz, and he helps with the manages the Truth Will Overcome Tyranny Facebook page, and partner on the show and stuff, and we do this broadcast every Sunday on Blog Talk Radio. But yeah, it's awesome to there's so many people around me who need to be interviewed, and
yes, exactly.
You really jumped up as someone. Well, okay, he's been on ACA now. We got to,
Yeah. We're aiming for Darren Hinch. You better be ready, Darren.
Yeah, we'll try for Darren Hinch too. We're going to see if we can get him on. That'll be interesting. And
because he can't really say what he wants to say on his own show.
That's it.
That's it. Maybe we'll put it out of jurisdictional reach or something or other. I don't know. We'll see how we go. See how all that works. But that'd be cool. And yeah, again, thanks for coming on.
Isn't the mainstream media a joke these days? Yeah.
It's worse than a joke, man. I can sometimes laugh at jokes, but I can't even laugh at that crap anymore.
Yeah.
No.
We've got to make our own, basically, and
that's it. We are the new media. That's it.
You got it, man.
That was a really exciting thing.
Guys. Yeah. Well done.
Something I saw on Facebook was this, inspiring picture, and it visualized all the relationships around the world that have been formed through Facebook, and the significance of it, was obvious, which was basically that people are bypassing all these barriers, government, media, distance, time, everything else, and are able to just hook up with someone on the other side of the planet and have a conversation, share their ideas, be involved in other people's lives that you wouldn't otherwise be involved in. And, it's just so inspiring because, Facebook brought us together. Jason brought you and me, Baz as well.
We've met together at a few meetings and stuff before.
Yeah, we've met up in real life, but it started on Facebook and then,
exactly.
In the same groups and turned up at the same places and that kind of stuff. Yeah. And, I think this is, it's the way of the future. If people want to find more like-minded people, it's easier than it's ever been before.
Yeah. Yeah, it's at our fingertips.
Absolutely.
Until NBN's rolled out.
Yeah, I mean, you asked me tonight, Jace, where's your studio? Where do I rock up to do this interview? And I'm like, got Skype, got a computer on the internet. It's at your place, man. Yeah.
Okay. And isn't it so comfortable? Yeah.
That's right. Don't get up.
You don't have to catch a taxi home or nothing.
No, that's it. I was going to ask if I can get some cab charge.
Fair enough. Oh,
that
lift he gave me home from that meeting.
You're right, man.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, cool. I do appreciate it. But yeah, anyway, it's awesome to have met you and to know you, and then to see you on TV. And then get to discuss everything, afterwards and give a bit of perspective on it all.
Yeah.
Fun, eh? Hope you all listened. Hope you all enjoyed it, listeners. And remember, truth will overcome tyranny.
Sure will, mate. The power of the TWOT.
With that, I'll
the feminine energy to do their bit as well. I think the more feminine piece and energy gets pushed out there, the better.
Did you hear our interview with Peter at all? Peter Morgan?
No, but I will listen to it in the next couple of days. Yeah, I did.
That was great fun too.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's very lovely and very spirited as well. Really a strong woman, and and her voice was musical on the radio, I must say.
Yeah.
So enjoy that. Anyway,
watch her video. Yeah, it was very.
Her video, yeah, that's pretty full on. But
Yes.
but yours had quite the ending.
Didn't it?
It really went off with a bang.
Yeah, that's it. Got
All
some,
right.
got some attention for all the wrong reasons, didn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
all right. Well, have a good night.
All right.
Enjoy your weekend, and we'll catch up soon.
We'll
All
see
right,
you.
mate. So, all the best. Take
All right.
care.
See you, Jason.
See ya.
So, bye.